Hey everybody, welcome to a Pop of Culture, where I speak on pop culture, social justice, and human experience from a black, bisexual, millennial, Gen Z perspective. And I wanted to do a quick episode of life lessons in my 20s, because I'm experiencing these life lessons whether I like to or not in my 20s. And I just wanted to share. I'm trying to be more consistent with the content I upload just because I want to try to continue to grow this channel and grow my social media brand, both on the music side and on the commentary side. So here we go. We are here. So let's get into it. So in today's video, I wanted to do a short chit chat about grieving friendships and grieving relationships, just because this is something I'm going through now and the feels are real. The feels are reals. So I just wanted to speak to this because I'm just like, I guess I'm 26 now, and it's like, I don't know, like, I guess I'm not gonna say shit is hitting the fan. I'm not gonna say it's giving quarter life crisis, but I'm just saying shit is real. The feels are reals. And it's like, damn, I'll be listening to certain song lyrics. I'm like, oh shit, this shit is like hitting on a deeper level now. But I just wanted to make this video just because if I know if I'm feeling this way, there's other people feeling this way. And I've been watching a lot of TikTok videos from people, and a lot of the stuff they've been saying has resonated. So I'm just like, I feel like I can speak my piece and share what's helpful to me. And, hopefully it'll resonate with some people. And, I also want to just, continue to post and upload so I can get back to, being used to speaking on camera and just, recording when I feel motivated, making content that feels aligned. So let's get into it. So I just wanted to talk about, like I said, grieving friendships, grieving relationships, because I feel like I am in a period of transition where there are some people who were in my life who are no longer in my life. And it's kind of weird the way it happened because I feel like I feel like usually it doesn't happen the way it does with like, it seemed like it happened with a few people around the same exact time. But I guess what I'll say is like, I feel like there were signs that some of these people like weren't really down for me the way they should have been. And like, I'm not the messy type to like go on the internet and like spill all the business, spill people's tea. Like, I like having a certain distance between my personal life and the internet as someone, even though I want to create content, I want to have like a distance, especially with, all this stuff where people are trying to remove people's privacy, and get people's IDs, age verify, all this other stuff. Like, I want a sizable distance, especially as someone who's a leftist, as someone with marginalized backgrounds. Like, there's a lot going on. But my point is, I'm not going to get into too many specifics, but I can, allude to things and speak, how I need to. So, anyways, let's get into it. So, like I was saying, there were some people in my life where I felt like, and maybe I'll like refer to it kind of like vaguely, but, give you a little bit of the tea to, make it make sense. But I guess what I'll say is like there were some friends, or I'll call them friends, but I guess there was always like, there was some sus behavior in the mix as well. And I feel like for me, I'm someone who's like, I try to be, the best person I can be. I'm someone, I feel like I've really leaned into self-development, self-work. So I've learned about a lot about reparenting myself, healing my core wounds, just trying to show up for myself, show up for the goals I have, take care of myself. I've just learned so much. And I feel like as someone who has learned a lot about self-development, learned a lot about taking care of myself, learned a lot about self-care. I guess I'm not like a mental health professional or anything, but I am someone who knows how to take care of myself, who's known how to, pull myself out of, dark places. And so I guess when I see people around me, especially people with similar identities and backgrounds to me, and I know that I guess there's a light in me that, has endured through, has built, with resilience. When I see people around me who have similar experiences and similar stories, and I can see some light in them, I want to, pull the light out of them, and, I want to help them to heal and, be great. And I want to, but I guess the problem in that is, sometimes those people who are in progress, in process, sometimes those people are not able to show up in the way that I need them to show up for me. And it can become this challenge because you want to give grace to people who are on their journey, but sometimes those people, their actions like are not in line with the grace that you like, the kindness of my heart maybe overextending to their behavior and how they're treating me. And that's something I've had to learn. So, but I guess the point I wanted to make is I realized some of those people I was trying to show grace to, and because of our shared connection, because of the good memories and the times they did show up for me, one of the things I learned was like sometimes you can have the right intentions and you can have love in your heart for people, but if they are not in the place to meet you where you're at when it comes to like your mindset, where you're trying to go, if they can't meet you where you're at, then it doesn't matter. And that's something I had to learn. Like the universe was telling me, because that's the thing I would say with these like friendships is like, for me, I guess there was a period where I was distancing myself from people because I noticed that the energy wasn't right. I noticed that they weren't in line with like where I was trying to go, my mindset, my goals. And I saw their energy wasn't in line with certain things. But I guess that's the thing is like, so I distanced myself. And that's the funny thing. Like sometimes when you distance yourself from people, they like pull closer to you. So I thought, okay, maybe this can work out. Maybe this can go the way I need it. Or I want it to go. But it's like it's kind of like what's like oil and water. If something is not meant to be, it's like it does not matter. Like it doesn't matter. They like I feel like it's like the universe made them show their ass, and basically that it could not be reconciled. And but my point is just I'm in a state of grief about some of the things that have happened, but and it's hard and it's difficult, but like I said, I feel like I there were signs that things were going in a certain way, but I guess I was trying to extend grace. But I think, like I said, one, when it's not meant to be, the universe is gonna let you know that it's not meant to be, like oil and water. It's not gonna mix. So, and also too, like I said, no matter how much grace you extend to people, if they're not in the place they need to be to receive that grace and to change and adapt their behaviors, it's not gonna work. So I guess for me, I'm just in this period where I guess I was in a period of shock because like people who I was around, who I would talk to, like I was comfortable with them. We had this rapport. They were part of my schedule. They're part of my routine. We like were talking to regular, and that's no longer happening anymore. And the good thing is it's opened me up to new experiences where I'm meeting new people and I'm putting myself into new environments, and like I'm taking steps to things that I wanted to do. But I guess for me, because I was part of my time and energy was occupied by them, I wasn't fully trying some of those things. And now I have the freedom and space to try some of those things. And one of the songs that has really been resonating with me has been Whitney Houston's Tried on My Own. And I feel like that song has just resonated with me so much because in the song, Whitney, may she rest in peace, she's just talking about like how she's no longer this foolish girl. She's talking about how like she's learned so much and she's ready to do things her own way. And I think that's how I feel. Like I think there was a part of me in the past where there was this comfort with these people. Like there was one of these people where it's like they wanted to talk and chat and kiki, but I felt like when it came to certain ambitions and things I was going for, I wasn't feeling that support. I wasn't feeling them showing up or inquiring or trying to go on a deeper level. It was like the okay, we can kiki and chat, but like where's the support, where's the energy, especially if I'm trying to put myself out there and grow and expand and evolve, and you're not taking a part in any of that process, or if you have certain connections or resources and you're not trying to extend them, like I said, I'm not going too deep. And there was another person where it's like they can extract resources from me. They can take and take and take. But then when it comes to reciprocating or even, like and even too like it's just like like I feel like certain people they want to put certain energy into certain relationships, and then other people they want to take for granted. So like I said, it's a lot of lessons learned, and it's a period where there's a lot of difference and there's a lack in that familiarity. But in that lack of familiarity, and it also kind of resonated with me too. There's a song I have, like if y'all don't know, I sing, I make music, and so there's a song I co-wrote with someone called Why Try. And one of the lyrics that my co-writer came up with, and you'll hear the song soon if you check out my page thief.music. But there's this lyric in the song that says, in the silence there's something I found, and that's something that like resonates with me so much. Like, in the silence there's something I found, because I think sometimes when you feel alone, when you feel this shift or this change, there can, like, initially you may feel this grief and this shock at like things being different. But one of the things I've realized is, in that silence, there is, once you get through the shock and the pain and of the difference and the people no longer being there, in that silence, if you can persist through it, there is this peace, and there's this, there can be this hope and this joy about this realization of that negativity, that hate. Because I feel like when those friendships ended, some of those people, they let out some of how they really felt, and it was painful and it was not pretty. But like I said, in this silence, there's something I found. And what I found has been that I can find joy, not only joy in future connections, but joy in myself. And there's also this joy in those people no longer being there, because, like I said, they showed their tail. So there's this, in the silence, there's this peace in knowing because I think that's something I always knew, was that I could survive, not being connected to those people. But I think I'm seeing it now in real time. I'm like, what's another one too? Like the LGBT classic song, I Will Survive. I don't know if Gloria Gaynor is the first one who sung it, or if she just is the one who made it famous. I'm not the most familiar with that song at this moment, but I have feel like I feel like maybe I'm gonna do it for karaoke, do it for open mic, because like those lyrics are resonating so much now. But I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna sing it. But at first, I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side, and it's like those lyrics are resonating, because I think it's like, for me, I feel like some of those connections, I thought that like I needed them. I knew I didn't need them, but I became so comfortable in them, they became a part of me. And I feel like, it's like the universe had to snatch them, because the universe gave me warning, warning, warning. But it's just like, it was hard, because like I felt so connected to those people, and they were like a part of my routine, they're a part of my comfort. And it's like the universe had to like snatch that wig all the way off. She had to snatch the wig clear off, like, because it was not meant to be. And like I said, in the silence there's something I found, that lyric, there's something I found. But the only way I was gonna find it was if that wig was snatched clean off, so that's just some thoughts from my life lessons in my 20s. Thanks so much for listening. See y'all in the next one. Bye bye.